bettingconsumer.com to learn more. LiveScore Bet. Total betting. Bet responsibly. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Jim White and Simon Jordan on Talk Sport. Mid-morning radio that's up for the job.
I'm hot under the collar with this.
Concrete sports talk.
Edge that one in stone.
Rapid setting opinion.
I still think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Oh, no. Come on.
Big names all bagged up.
David Moyes, John Hart's, Ian Rush.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Delivered tomorrow morning from 10 on Talk Sport by Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
Hard-hitting football coverage.
Game day.
Feel the power and the glory.
It's gone into the back of the net.
FA Cup. Game day live on Talk Sport.
We're moments away from kick-off here at Villa Park as Aston Villa take on Tottenham here in front of a packed house. We're just minutes away. The two teams out onto the field. You are listening to Aston Villa against Tottenham in the FA Cup Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. It's another huge day of football. Wolves made it through earlier on. They avoided the upset at Blackburn, winning by 2-0. But Plymouth produced the result of the round so far, knocking out Liverpool. Ryan Hardy's spot kick in the second half, sending the team from Devon into the fifth round. But who will join them? Will it be Aston Villa or will it be Tottenham Hotspur? Jermaine Genus alongside us. Jermaine, you played for both, obviously more so for Tottenham, but who are you fancying today?
I think it's difficult to not look at Aston Villa in, I suppose, their overall form this season and not look at them and think, well, they're the favourites. But there's no doubt that Tottenham, the one thing they have done all this year is surprise a lot of people at times with their wins against teams like Manchester City in like the League Cup competition and so on and so forth. The last result they just had against Liverpool is going to be massively disappointing for this group of players, and it's just whether Ange Postecoglou has been able to get into them enough to raise their game for what is a huge moment in their season.
Are you surprised Rashford's on the bench?
No, not really. I think I listened to the comments from Unai Emery, and I think it was a condition thing. I think that he was happy with the way that he was training, his attitude and so on and so forth, but I think sometimes just that lack of match practice, playing week in, week out, it's a very smart move just to, ease him in slowly.
We're about to get underway here. The FA Cup drama doesn't end here. Tomorrow night, Doncaster against Crystal Palace live in the fourth round, live on TalkSport 2. And on Tuesday, Exeter against Nottingham Forest, also live on TalkSport 2, as Villa defending the Holt end here in their claret and blue kit. Not the ball long, and it's all the way through to the keeper, Kinski, all in orange. Just in front of us here down this end of the ground, gets an early touch. Spurs in their white shirts with the dark blue trim and the dark blue shorts. It'll be interesting how they react to that disappointment thumped at Anfield on Thursday night, and they've given the ball away over on the far side. It will be, I'm sure, Jermaine, playing on their mind early on here.
I mean, you'd like to think not, to be honest with you. I think after those moments you do have to kind of just put it to bed and say, look, we've got to move on. We've got a huge moment coming up in our season, and just get your mind's in the right place.
Villa coming forward midway inside their own half. They'll slide a nice pass here into the path of Rodgers, who skips past one. He's driving forward now. He moves the ball out to this near side. Ramsey into the area, left-footed shot. It's gone straight through Kinski, and Aston Villa get off to a dream start. A minute on the clock, and Ramsey fires through Kinski, and it's Villa 1, Spurs 0.
Well, it's absolutely brilliant from Aston Villa's point of view. It's a shocker for Spurs and for Kinski. The shot's right at him, and he's got to stop it first and foremost. But from a Villa point of view, you've seen this goal week in, week out this season at Villa Park. They play through the lines brilliantly. Starts with Tielemans. Morgan Rodgers is just in the hole. Skips back past Bergwijn like it's not even there. And Jacob Ramsey's on his bike. Luka Dean's on his bike. There's not a Spurs player in sight. Puts his foot through it, Jacob Ramsey. It's going straight at Kinski. He's just got to stop it. He's got to get a stronger hand to it. Goes straight through him into the back of the net.
He gets his hands on it, and he just could not keep it out. 58 seconds it took Villa to breach the Tottenham rearguard. And now Villa on the attack again here, and it's Rodgers again, feeds it into Luka Dean, edge of the area. Can he pull the cross back? No, but they'll get a corner. This is a rampant start from Aston Villa.
Brilliant from Aston Villa, really is on the front foot. They're winning all the battles initially in this game, collecting the second balls. I mean, Jacob Ramsey and Morgan Rogers already. This left-hand side seems to be a big problem for Tottenham right now. Mikey Moore, who lost the ball on that occasion, but Villa with the corner.
Tillemans is going to swing this one in. The Villa fans in great voice. They'll actually play it short. They work it back to John McGinn. McGinn looks to put it across towards the far post. It's headed away at the far post by Bergvall, but it'll be recycled here by Rogers down the far side. There's Leon Bailey, and Villa go back to the halfway line. And here's Martinez, midway inside his own half. What a start for Aston Villa. What a nightmare start for Ange Postecoglou and Spurs. Inside a minute they find themselves behind, and now Spurs give away a needless free kick. What's the Spurs mentality now, Jumena? They just got to hang on and try and stop anything happening for 10 minutes or so?
They need to get closer to these Villa players. It looks to me like they've turned up today and almost not expected what Villa have thrown at them in the early stages of this game, which is amazing to me, but it's also what I think a lot of Spurs fans who have watched them this season will always tell you. They're having to kind of react now rather than being ready for the game in the first place.
Martinez has a back pass to deal with. He will move it along to this near side, and Villa, well, they've had a little bit of an up and down in form recently. Only 2 home defeats all season. They've not lost here in 10, so they're pretty good at home, and they've got off to the best possible start, leading inside a minute. But the new goalkeeper, Antonin Kingskey, will be having nightmares about that shot that went straight through him. And here come Villa again, and it's the goal scorer Ramsey advancing down the left-hand side. Cuts back in, goes past one, tries to see off Kulusevski, gets the ball back here. McGinn has it. Lucadini's out on this near side. He will look to put the cross in. He tries to feed it through for the goal scorer Ramsey. Just overhit it. The idea was right.
It was a really good run from Jacob Ramsey, and he just tried to feed it into him in the 18-yard box just on the left-hand side, but he's just overhit it, so it's gone out of play. I think the big thing that Spurs need to get hold of this midfield. You know, they don't seem to have any control in games that they play in.
Well, they've just tried to play out from the back here. Now, Kevin Danso has been deemed to have fouled the Aston Villa player Daniel Marlon. He protests Kevin Danso. I wasn't sure he did a lot wrong there.
I'm not sure what Anthony Taylor's seen here. I mean, Daniel Marlon comes flying across. You know, you've got Danso who's trying to bring the ball out on the right-hand side of the pitch. He's about to clear it up the pitch. Daniel Marlon comes flying across. There's no foul there that I can see. But he's given the free kick in a really dangerous position.
There he has. It's maybe 5 yards in from the left touchline. John McGinn is going to take it, left-footed. Spurs are trying to hold a line round about 15 yards out from their goal. Everybody back for them. Martinez, the goalkeeper for Villa, is in the centre circle, ready to recycle if needed. Here comes the cross into the penalty area, and they were rising. Konsa got free but couldn't get a header on it, and Spurs relieved to see the ball over on the far side and all the way out for a throw-in.
That's a lovely delivery, wasn't it, from Luca Dean. Just one of those ones you want someone to go and attack, but Spurs just about hung on.
Yeah, they are hanging on a little bit here. If you just joined us, nearly 6 on the clock live on TalkSport. Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Jacob Ramsey with a goal inside 58 seconds. One that was highly preventable. Kinski straight at him, but he couldn't keep it out. There's a ball over on the far side. Villa win it back again. 30 yards out from goal, but forward now will come Spurs. A chance for Kulusevski to feed the ball out wide to Mikey Moore on this near side. He's got Porro advancing down the touchline with him. He'll just lay the ball off, and Spurs finally get the chance to have some meaningful possession inside the Villa half. Here's Danso. He'll get the ball away, and it's brought forward by Archie Gray. Feeds it out wide on the Tottenham Hotspur left-hand side. They'd just be happy, I think, to have a touch of the ball at the moment.
Yeah, I think, you know, after the start of the game, they needed us to kind of get on the ball, build some confidence, settle this game down a little bit. But if you look at Aston Villa and the structure in their team and the lines that they have, it's very difficult to play in between those lines, which is why Spurs have just gone from the edge of the 18-yard box of Villa to the edge of their own 18-yard box, because, yes, they're trying to keep the ball, but they're finding it very difficult already to get through. And what Villa will do is they gradually just kind of creep, get a bit closer, and they wait for that one ball and they'll be all over you.
Yeah, Spurs have it, and now Villa are pressing. Porro did well to get it to Danso, finds his keeper, and he gets it away to Archie Gray. I'm sure when he made the move from Leeds United in the summer, didn't envisage playing quite so much at centre half, but that's where he finds himself. needs must for Spurs.
He's been brilliant, he really has. In his first season, the amount of responsibility that's been heaped on his shoulders and the way that he's handled it, left back, right back, midfield, centre back, he's a true talent, Archie Gray, he really is.
Yeah, he is. Comes from a famous footballing family, of course, and
I played with his dad actually at Forest. Yeah, Andy.
Yeah, his dad Eddie, still a regular up at Ellen Road. He was there yesterday as Spurs go over the halfway line. Nice little touch there. Kulusevski gets it away. Now he skips down the right-hand side. Son waits in the middle. Ball works its way back to Porro, but Villa have got everybody back, and now they're saying to Spurs, see what you can do to break us down. They'll go out to that far side, and Jed Spence rolls the ball out wide. They're trying to cut in off that touchline. They'll lay it into Son. He gets the ball, edge of the penalty area, pokes it down towards the byline. They keep it in, Spurs here. Ball comes in from the far side. It's not dealt with initially. I think there was a push there in the back of Boubacar Kamara, and Villa get a free kick.
You know what, some positive signs from Tell, though. The new signing up top for Tottenham, the way that he kind of moves, he's sharp, happy to go by players, make runs in behind, just offers something slightly different in their play. And I think down that left-hand side in particular, where you've got Spence, Tell seems to be pulling out on that side quite a bit, and Heung-min Son. I mean, there's pace and ability in abundance there.
Yeah, they trail by 1-0, but they are starting to see a little bit more of the ball as it's passed back by Gray to his goalkeeper Kinski, and he has it. Super Bowl action tonight. That'll be live on TalkSport, live from 11:30 with Will Gavin and the team. Super Bowl 59 from New Orleans as the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Spurs have given away possession again, and Mikey Moore just couldn't control the routine pass, and Villa get it back on halfway. And Postecoglou looks on, arms folded. Look, you can be the best manager in the world, Jermaine, but if your keeper lets one in like that, that's not really your fault, is it?
No, it's not. But I think your approach to the game and being in that type of situation can be your fault. You know, Kingsley's had a difficult start, I would say, to his Spurs career after that big win that he got in his very first game. To even the first goal the other night with Gakpo, I think we could question slightly. So, yeah, you're right. There's nothing that Postecoglou can do about that.
Again, he's upended, and Spurs giving away a couple of silly fouls, and that time it was Bergvall who just had a nibble and gives away the free kick, which Villa take quickly. Midway inside their own half. We've been playing just over 10 minutes here live on TalkSport. Mark Wilson with Jermaine Genius here at Villa Park, and it is Villa 1, Spurs 0. Kulusevski wins it back over halfway. Bergvall's pass is just behind Moore. So they look rattled. They just look a little bit off it at the moment, Spurs.
I think, you know, confidence looks low. The intensity's not quite there. They just look a little bit lost, and even when they get it, all that Villa do is just drop off right now, and Spurs don't seem to have the ideas.
Well, they don't. Here's McGinn working his way through the centre circle. Eventually two white shirts come and close it down. He offers the ball away, and now it's brought forward by Ramsey. Ramsey finds Rodgers. McGinn picks it back up again. He's driving forward, works it out wide on the far side. Chance here to put the cross in if they wish to do so. The level of the penalty area, they go back to McGinn. McGinn threads it through. Now there's a chance here. Bailey running into the penalty area, cuts back onto his left foot, pulls it back for Tielemans. Tielemans is upended, is he? No, referee says play on. Falls to McGinn, he's outnumbered. Spurs could break, but Konsa quickly intercepts it, and at the moment Villa just seem to be first to everything.
Really good from Konsa, that was, supporting those tackles in midfield, sustaining the attack, just really not letting Spurs off the hook here.
Villa in possession again. Neat footwork there. Rodgers works its way out on this near side. Dean has it, lays it back to Rodgers. Spurs trying to get bodies around the ball, but not really affecting the play at the moment. And Villa just passing it around at their will as they look to try and prise open Spurs again. Little back flick McGinn. Konsa in the centre circle, and they've been patient here, Aston Villa. They've got the early goal.
I have to say, when you watch this Villa centre midfield kind of function live, it operates really well. The balance that they have in there, because Tielemans is a ball player, McGinn can run with the ball, but the way that Ramsey and Morgan Rogers just drop into those little pockets. It's killing Tottenham at the minute.
Well, Porro there put a hold on Dean, but he's still got away from him. He's pushed really wide. Luca Dean puts the cross in. It's blocked by Porro, and that was a similar move that led to the goal there. But Porro almost rugby tackled Luca Dean there.
It's just what they've not been able to figure out, you know, when especially Jacob Ramsey, because he's starting on that left-hand side, but as he starts to make his run, say, across the 18-yard box into the hole next to Morgan Rogers, everyone's looking at each other going, shall I pick him up? Shall you pick him up? It's got to make a decision.
Well, it's another corner here that Tielemans is going to take. Looks to whip it into the 6-yard box. Nobody dealt with it. Keeper stood still. Bergvall eventually punted it up in the air. It's regathered on the far side by Garcia. He's looking to work his way into the area. He might have a shot. He does in the end. It was optimistic and it was way over the top. It worth an effort, but never really got hold of it.
Yeah, he got a bit excited there, I think, didn't he? Eyes lit up as he cut inside onto his left foot. Thought he could bend it into that top corner, but good again from Villa. Really is. Oh no.
Kinski almost 2 yards out from his goal. He miscontrolled it and then he just rifles it away from his goal. And here come Villa again. Ball breaks here to Marlon. Shot just over the top. Well, Kinski was at fault for the opening goal and he was nearly at fault there. Panic stations at the back for Tottenham Hotspur.
I mean, again, I can't praise Villa enough, but from Kingsley's point of view, a miscontrol as the ball gets rolled back to him. He's just smashing that clearance anywhere, and then he's having to, deal with the pressure. The worrying thing for me after all that, I didn't see one player, not one player, go up to him and have a word, say anything. No accountability anywhere in the team to say, like, listen, sort yourself out. You've already cost us a goal. We all have bad starts, to games. It's just about when you're looking at this team, who's leading it? Who's the one saying, get yourself together, we'll be all right type thing? It's a really worrying sign.
Yeah, it is indeed. Martinez has the ball at the back for Aston Villa. Lead by a goal to nil live on TalkSport. The goal coming inside the opening 60 seconds. Jacob Ramsey firing a shot through Kinski. And here come Villa again, who just penalty area, cuts back, goes for goal, and Kinski this time produces a one-handed flying save to deny Aston Villa, but Marlon picks it up on the byline. He's looking for support now. Lays it back, picked up by Ramsey, gives it to Dean. Here now is Tielemans.
It's brilliant to watch, and they look like they're having fun, don't they, Villa? That's the scary thing. They look like they know exactly what they're doing, where to pass it, how to pass it, when to pass it. Morgan Rogers is absolutely killing Spurs at the minute.
Yes, here is Tielemans again, gets the ball, feeds it now to Ramsey. Ramsey tries to slide it to Marlon, who rode the tackle of Porro, but Danso was there to clear it away, only as far as Kamara. It's dominant Villa pressure as they again look to work it out wide on this left-hand side. Luca Dean just rolls it back to Kamara. 1-0 Villa lead here. If you just joined us earlier on, Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0, live on TalkSport. Ryan Hardy's penalty in the second half sent home park into raptures. We'll hear from the Plymouth manager at half-time. There's another foul given away by Aston Villa at the moment. Well, you say Aston Villa look like they're enjoying it, Jermaine. Spurs look like they're far from enjoying life at the moment.
You know what, right? Sometimes when you're out there as a player, one of the things that can come across to the public is that you're not trying or you're not confident, but sometimes you're just trying to figure out why is it they keep having so much time on the ball, or why is it that Morgan Rogers is in all this space, and they do look a little bit like that at the minute. It's like they can't fully commit to going pressing, because every time they do that, the ball goes in behind them.
Well, there's a ball over the top. Spence and Bailey are after it, and Spence showed his athleticism and got there first and watched the ball go out.
But honestly, everywhere you look, there's either fingers being pointed, Ange Postecoglou's doing it, I saw Sonny having a look at players, kind of what's going on. There doesn't seem to be an understanding of what they're supposed to be doing.
16 gone here. The final word tonight with Majestic and the former Villa captain Gabby Agbonlahor. That follows us here with the final word. Your chance to have your say on all the weekend's action. Get your calls in for that now on 0371722 3344. Dare say there might be a few Spurs and Liverpool fans wanting to get involved, but it can still turn around here. Villa with the early lead and looking to work in down the left again, but Danso comes across and he'll just watch that ball go out. And it's a goal kick for Tottenham Hotspur. Danso's looked okay, hasn't he, at the back so far?
Yeah, I think, considering what he was chucked into midweek, he looks like a decent acquisition to the side, because obviously struggling a little bit in that area.
Well, he's just been sold an absolute hospital pass there as they try to play out of their own 18-yard box, Spurs.
I don't understand what gives them the thought that they can play that type of football right now. I really don't. Benton Kerr gets the ball played into him in his own half, just outside the 18-yard box, trying to chip it over the right back's, over the left winger's head. It's not smart play.
No, there's a big following up from Spurs, and they won't be enjoying this as Tielemans now drives through the centre circle. Options either side, he might keep going. Yuri Tielemans with a shot, it's just wide. Keeper Kinski at full stretch. Well, he was given the freedom at Villa Park, and listen to the boos that ring around. The top section behind Kinski's goal is full of Spurs fans, and they are making themselves heard here. They are not happy with this from Ange Postecoglou's side.
And rightly so. They've absolutely not turned up for the best part of 80 minutes in this game. From Villa's point of view, though, looking at Yuri Tielemans throughout a lot of this season, to be honest with you, he's really finding his feet in a Villa shirt, driving forward with the ball, just tried to reverse it into that far corner, just pulled it slightly, then he just outside the post. But it's just attack after attack after attack that Tottenham are having to deal with, and you have to say you can sympathise with the Spurs fans at the minute.
18 and a half gone. Live on Talk Sport, the FA Cup action continues. There's a ball with Villa. Tielemans again just caught, and again it's a needless foul. Bergvall again, not for the first time, just clipping heels. I think John McGinn is quite rightly just saying to the referee, when are you going to do something about this?
Yeah. It's a lovely turn from Tielemans, just throws off Bergvall. He's just slightly late all the time. That's why he keeps committing those fouls. He's never there when he's supposed to be there.
Well, the Spurs fans are making themselves known. They're protesting up high about the ownership of the club. But right now it's things on the pitch that need addressing. McGinn almost caught in possession in his own 18-yard box, but he found a pass to Bailey, who couldn't quite keep it in, but does earn his side a throw-in. FA Cup action continues on TalkSport 2 tomorrow night. Doncaster, they'll be fancying their chances against Premier League Crystal Palace. Hugh Wozencroft, Nigel Adley and the former Liverpool women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, our team there in South Yorkshire tomorrow night. 7:45 start. Ball is won in midfield by Marlon, who rides a challenge. He feeds it out here. Here goes Ramsey again onto his left foot, fires across goal and wide of the target, but it's another good Aston Villa chance.
He's always available as that extra runner, Jacob Ramsey, on his left hand side. On this occasion the ball just got stuck under his feet. He was trying to get it out. Porro faced him up, but just dragged it left at the post.
Yeah. Here comes Spurs, 20 minutes gone, trailing by a goal to nil. Another tackle won by Aston Villa, and forward now comes Bailey down the Villa right. Looks to switch play. There was nobody immediately available, so it goes back to Tielemans as the wind whistles round this famous old ground here. It's bitterly cold here, but Villa are certainly warming their fans with a very pleasing opening 20 minutes here at Villa Park. Tielemans gets it away. Rodgers just a little bit too casual, but wins the ball straight back off Gray, and here come Villa again down the left-hand side, right-hand side. Bailey cuts back in, and he's dispossessed. That was a better tackle. Ball played forward. Son's gone down on halfway. Kamara's are deemed to have fouled him, and Spurs get a free kick. 1-0. Jermaine Genius, your thoughts on the opening 21 minutes?
Well, I think, first of all, I think Tottenham are very fortunate just to be 1-0 down right now, and I think when Ange Postecoglou is just digesting everything that's happened in the early stages of this game, he'll be absolutely, you'd have to be delighted that they are only 1-0 down. I think from Unai Emery's point of view, they're playing really well. They just look solid, Villa. They're playing through the lines brilliantly. All the players that you'd think be causing problems are causing problems.
Long ball over the forward from over the top from Danso, and it'll roll harmlessly through to Martinez. You are listening to Aston Villa against Tottenham in the FA Cup Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. 1-0 here. Son tries to put Martinez under pressure. He clears it towards halfway. Spurs win the header. Now can they pick up the ball edge of the area? No is the answer, or Benton Kerr will pick it up far side. Here is the new signing over on that far side. Matis Tell, who was involved a couple of times early on, but Spurs haven't really managed to get him involved since that point.
No, he's been trying. I think when he gets on the ball, he looks lively. He's trying to go by people, but he's just getting swarmed by Villa players. He's trying to pull out to that left-hand side and get himself a little bit of space. He's on the ball now, but he's always looked positive when he gets on it, which I like.
Yeah, goes forward now, cuts back past one, turns and then flicks the ball back. Bailey is beaten in the tackle, although the referee's going to deem that was a foul by Spurs. And Bailey goes down on the ground. Jed Spence not happy with the decision, but it is a free kick as we go past the halfway point of the first half. Earlier on, Wolves 2-0 winners up at Ewood Park, knocking out Blackburn Rovers, and Plymouth Argyle 1, Liverpool 0. At Home Park, you heard it live on TalkSport this afternoon. The atmosphere there sounded crazy, didn't it?
I mean, rightly so. Rightly so. They put in an absolute shift, didn't they?
Well, here's Marlon, played in, just tries to get in behind. Gray comes across to cover him. There are a host of runners in field, and they get the ball in. Just heavy the touch there from Ramsey.
That's shocking, that is. I've just watched Jacob Ramsey run past Bentancur like he's not even there. As a midfielder, you need to know the players that are trying to get in behind you, and he's just allowed it.
Well, here's Kulusevski going the other way. He's got it to Mikey Moore. Moore into the area, crosses it. Big chance, Son. Great save, Martinez. One-on-one, diving save, and out of nothing there, Tottenham Hotspur had a chance on the counter, and Son denied by Emiliano Martinez.
Well, that's the difference right there. You know, you've got one top goalkeeper, keeps his side ahead. It was a brilliant ball from Mikey Moore. It's put on a plate for Heung-min Son. What is he, 8 yards out, middle of the goal. And I think from Martinez's point of view, he just guesses, he just goes down, makes himself huge, and Son just hits him, didn't do enough, he's got to score.
Yeah, no Spurs player in the Premier League era has been involved in more goal involvements in the FA Cup than Son, and yes, he hit the target, but it was a safe finish, and Martinez made himself big. There's just a Villa player down. I think it's Conser getting a little bit of treatment at the moment. Some of the Spurs players coming across to get some refreshments on board. They trail here by a 1-0. A goal from Ramsey, and just looking at that pass there from Marlon a couple of minutes ago there, Jermaine, I mean, there were 2 or 3 Villa runners. They were queuing up to finish it.
Yeah, and that is the difference sometimes in these games. You know, I spoke earlier about formations and trying to figure it out, but are you working as hard as you should be working is the big question that Tottenham should be asking themselves. Yes, they just created a chance 2 seconds ago, but for the majority of this game, those effort levels, getting to the ball on time, doing the right things, just haven't quite been there. And I think from Aston Villa's point of view, they're the ones that are making the runs in behind. They're getting the other side of their opponent and winning those 50-50s and winning those second balls, and that is what wins you football matches in the end.
Yeah, it is. We mentioned earlier on about the huge FA Cup shock here in England. There's been a huge FA Cup shock as well north of the border. Rangers 0, Queen's Park 1. Rangers losing to at home in a Scottish Cup match against a side from a lower division for the first time in their history. Wow, that is some stat. And we're going to get a change here now. We mentioned at the start that Unai Emery had only named 7 substitutes. Well, he's going to have to use one of them here, sadly. Lamar Bogard is coming on. Ezri Konsa will make way. He was just getting treatment after that breakaway there. He's walking off. He looks a little bit sore. The physios have had a look at him, and they've decided that Konsa will play no more part here. Lamar Bogard comes on. So just going back to that stat up in Scotland, the first time ever that Rangers in that competition have lost to a lower league side, and that could be a crushing blow to their season. A day of cup shocks, north and south of the border here, but here at Villa Park, Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0, 26 minutes on the clock, and Ezri Konsa's going straight down the tunnel here. He's just applauding the fans as he makes his way down. They'll be hoping that's nothing too serious, but that's a blow for him, Konsa having to leave the field.
Yeah, I think that they've already suffered a few, haven't they, in that area of the pitch, and maybe it's just enough for Unai Emery to say, look, I can't afford to lose you. Oh, chance.
Yeah, here comes Spurs. They get the ball back in the area now. Chance to put the cross in. It's deflected away, and maybe just Villa guilty of switching off momentarily there.
I watched their game against Celtic recently, and they come flying out the blocks in the Champions League, 2-0 up, and you think, right, this is going to be 3 and 4, and they just did the same thing in that game, really, at the end of the first half. Just kind of took the foot off the pedal and allowed them back in. So, that's what Tottenham will be hoping for. Just any type of glimmer of hope.
Well, they did create that one huge chance. Son couldn't take it. Throwing down by the corner flag, down the Spurs right. They trail by a 1-0 here at Villa Park. The ball punted forward. Danso retreat back to halfway. Unai Emery is just making a few amendments, I think, on the run to his side as they come out of their defensive shape. Tillemans beaten in the air by Danso. Looks to feed it through to Son, but it's just too heavy. Martinez quickly off his line, still 1-0. Well, the early goal, and Villa have been dominant, but I guess if there is a positive for Tottenham Hotspur and Ange Postecoglou, it is the fact that it is only 1-0.
Well, not only that, I mean, where do you reckon these two would come in the list of centre-half pairings for Villa? They'd be down the list though, wouldn't they? I mean, it's all right sitting there from Tottenham's point of view and talk off, but they're playing against a centre midfielder, and Bogard has just come onto the pitch, who, they're not regulars in that position, so you've got to go and try and exploit those, put them under pressure.
Yeah, ball over the top, headed away. To add to that drama up at Rangers, James Tavernier had a penalty saved in the 97th minute. Here come Villa again, driving through the middle. It's Bailey to make it 2. Kinski pushes it away. Ramsey, effort cleared, may have hit the outside of the post, and it goes behind. And the referee gives a goal kick. But once again, Aston Villa ripping this Tottenham Hotspur defence to shreds.
Well, in fairness to Kinksy, he's made a couple of good saves from Leon Bailey now. They really do break with pace. He's driving at that 18-yard box, shifts it onto his left. Probably didn't get it as wide as he wanted, Leon Bailey. It is central, gets a good strike on it, and Kinksy kind of like just pushes it out to the right-hand side. Jacob Ramsey follows up, but hits the post. But they really are, once they get going in that midfield, it's the pace and the power that they run at you with. Look really dangerous, Villa.
Yeah, they do. They would, though, welcome that second goal just to really give them some breathing space.
It is a funny thing when you're out there and it just keeps not happening, and you think, well, maybe it might go our way at some point. So, there's no doubt that Villa will be trying to get the second and third because they deserve it.
Yeah, their performance has been very good so far, but it is 1-0. Ramsey's goal after 58 seconds. Kinski should have done better with. Here's Porro, he's allowed to run forward. Son's made a run over the top. The ball will work its way wide. Tell Slipman in a good position. Might still keep it in though. He's got good close control, and he gets the ball back to Spence. The Spurs just starting maybe to grow in belief here. They're starting to find a little bit of joy down that far end of the field. Here now is Porro. Feeds it out wide here to Moore. Moore on the right, level with the edge of the penalty area. Feeds it in to Kulusevski. He looks to try and whip in across. Marlon is... tell you what, Danso was a lucky boy there, because Marlon nearly picked his pocket on halfway and he would have been clear on goal.
Yeah, it was close, wasn't it? It was tough for Danso because he had to slide in and he was just trying to get it out of play, but Marlon was smart and didn't allow it.
Here's a chance. Bergval's going to have a shot that goes high and wide of the Martinez goal, right down the far end here in front of the Holt end at Villa Park. Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. 30 minutes on the clock here. Well, these two have given themselves a benefit with qualifying automatically for the latter stages of their respective tournaments. They get the week off, if you like. We have got Manchester City, Real Madrid, first leg of their tie, Tuesday night live on Talk Sport. And we've got the final ever Merseyside derby, live and exclusive. Well, the final one at Goodison Park, Everton-Liverpool, is live on Wednesday night. We'll have that for you and all the build-up to come with it as Villa turn the ball over and bring it forward now. Rodgers rides a challenge. They tried to bring him down. He's still on his feet. He's going to have a shot at goal. Keeper parries it, and it's fired over in the end by Marlon, who was running onto it at pace. The angle was awkward. He couldn't keep it down.
Yeah, Morgan Rodgers again, just driving at that Spurs defence. He had options left with Marlon, he had options right with Bailey, decided to hit it. Just thinking about Kinksy again there, he's got to do better with that. It bounces in front of him, granted, but you can't parry it out into the middle of the goal. Like, get it out wide.
Yeah, it was out rather than away, wasn't it?
It just came straight back out, and it gave Marlon a chance to try and hit one on target.
Here come Villa then, over on the edge of their penalty area, leading by a 1-0. Here is Kamara. Going to go back to Martinez, chased down by Moore, and just plays the ball out beautifully on the far side. And Villa looking to launch a counter as they work their way over on that far side. And up towards halfway they come. They've just been allowed to get out a little bit too easily. And you can sense the frustration again in the Spurs fans as they just work their way forward. Tielemans gets it away. Here now is Bogard, the substitute into the action after that unfortunate injury for Konsa. Moore closes down. But Villa just look happy. Whether it's McGinn or Tielemans, they just look to have so much time at the minute.
I think it's just their movement in midfield is very good. They create a box where, you know, Ramsey goes and stands next to Morgan Rogers, and they have the depth from Tielemans.
Well, the ball forward there almost found Morgan Rogers, and if it hadn't been for Jed Spence staying awake there, they were bust open. But here comes Spurs with Porro. That comes off the defender, and it goes behind for a corner. That could be a huge break for Spurs, because had Spence not got there, again, one ball forward, Villa in on goal.
Yeah, it's like they have triggers, Villa. It's almost, if it goes into Tielemans in this area, we react like this. You go here, Rogers, you go here, Ramsey, and it's that quick that, you know, luckily, on that occasion, from Spurs' point of view, Jed Spence was there to cut it out.
He was, and now they've got a corner that Porro is going to take. Can Spurs level up here? Would be against the run of play. Ball delivered near post. It's headed upwards in the air towards the edge of the box. The ball will fall here to Spence, who's on the edge of the centre circle. He tries to play it back forward. It comes off Marlon, and here now forward come Villa, but they've lost possession. Edge of their area, they're trying to play Son in, but Luca Dean was there and just calmly rolls it out for a throw-in.
Really good from Luca Dean, that was. He kind of read the situation before it happened. It was a good run from Son. Lovely ball from Moore, but it was smart from Luca Dean. Just got ahead of the game and cut it out, puts it out for a throw-in.
Bentancur has it. He gets it away. Here's Danso now. Everybody back for Villa. 34 gone here live on TalkSport. Villa leading by a goal to nil. Could and should be more, but Spurs have had a gilt-edged chance of their own. It's undenied by Martinez. And Spurs have it on halfway as the wind whips through the press box. Here now is Danso on this near side. You know what, Marlon's made a pleasing start. He's everywhere, isn't he, at the minute?
I mean, he's a good player. You know, he was a very good player when he was at Dortmund. He was at times in and out of the team, but always a threat when he was on the pitch. So I think that he's been a great addition for Unai Emery. He's causing quite a few problems, and he physically as well as, you know, on the ball.
Yeah, there's a coming together on the far side between this Tell and Garcia, and the referee deems that it was a foul, and Villa will get themselves a free kick over on the far side. Don't forget, Jeff Stelling returns tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. on the TalkSport Breakfast Show. Jeff will be alongside the former Villa man Gabby Agbonlahor, and they'll be joined by Leyton Orient manager Richie Wellens. What a proud weekend it was for Leyton Orient, who for so long led Manchester City. They couldn't quite produce the shot, but nevertheless a proud and a good day for Leyton Orient Football Club, as there's a bit of all-in wrestling on halfway. Marlon and Gray, and now the ball slid forward, and but for a good challenge there from Kamara. Spurs were in, but the ball breaks the other way. And here now goes Rodgers down the Villa left-hand side. There are three claret and blue shirts waiting in the middle. He just rolls it into the path of Ramsey, who tries to cross it, deflects kindly. And Antonin Kinski is out quickly to collect it. Game really opening up now.
Yeah, it is. I think anytime Villa get the ball, the game seems to open up, because they're just so aggressive with their passing through the lines.
Moore does well to ride a couple of challenges, and is then upended by Tielemans, and a free kick for Tottenham Hotspur. They are growing into it. Look, they're riding the gauntlet a little bit defensively, but they're starting to show a bit more going forward. That is for sure.
They are, definitely. I think that they've had enough. It's that type of feeling. Let's just try and get on the ball. Let's try and make something happen. But inevitably, every time they lose it, they are wide open. But I feel like the game kind of lends itself to that anyway. You know, you're a goal down, get out there, go and try and get yourself back in this game.
Well, Spurs have won 9 of their last 10 visits here. Now, I know this is a much changed Spurs side, but their form is good here by and large, but there are many changes here. Tell tries to go past his man on the far side, rides the challenge but loses out. Good work from Bailey. Just seems to be a hunger and an attitude about Aston Villa to win every tackle.
Yeah, you're looking at a team that was off the back of losing a local derby, really, though, aren't you, the other day against Wolves, in one which they didn't really perform that well as well. So I'm sure some words were said, about the standards at this football club and what Unai Emery expects. And that's why they've come out with a bit between the teeth.
Yeah, certainly have. But Spurs coming forward here with Porro over the halfway line. Looks to spread it wide to his right, where Kulusevski has it. He'll roll it back to Benton Kerr. He works it across to Archie Gray. Gray will move it wide to Tell. He's got a little bit of room. Bailey just backed off him, and Tell has a run, but then just checked away. Now he whips across into the far post, headed away. It'll fall to Porro, 25 out. Opts across it, not shoot. It's chested down in the Villa area by a Villa defender, and they knock it long. And Archie Gray and Marlon, well, that was 3 falls and a submission, and this time the referee deems that Gray was the aggressor. Free kick, Aston Villa.
I just feel like they're both at it. On that occasion, it was Marlon that got the better of it. Look, he's got his arm wrapped around both legs of Archie Gray. Archie Gray then jumps on his back. It is a foul in the end, but they're both at it.
Earlier on, Plymouth got the victory against Liverpool. We'll hear from their manager, Miron Muslic, at half-time, and get the thoughts as well from the Liverpool camp as to what they make of defeat at Home Park. 1-0 the scoreline there. Dare say there'll be a party going on down in Devon tonight, and why not? Rough time in the Championship, but they've turned it on today, and that'll be a tricky place should they be drawn at home. The draw tomorrow evening around about 7:10 on the TalkSport network. There's a ball played forward by Villa, but they can't keep control of it. And here comes Spurs again. That looked like a hand from Tell. Referee's happy to let that go. He's lost it, then he wins it back. And a tackle goes thumping in. There's a few challenges, there's a few battles developing on this pitch.
I like it. I think that's what, it will play into Spurs' hands massively. If the game starts to kind of go down that road, it'll fire them up and give them a bit of drive to try and make something happen. I think Villa just need to just maintain their discipline, keep the ball, get themselves to half-time.
Here's Kulusevski. We've got 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Tries to feed it through. Son's made a great run. Martinez quickly out and cleared the danger just as Son was bearing down on goal. And Spurs are just starting to find 1 or 2 gaps now in that Villa rearguard. Esri Konsa's gone off. He's been replaced by Bogard. And Spurs are starting to find a few passes now, although that's asking too much of Tell. And it's behind for a goal kick. Still Villa 1, Spurs 0.
Well, Archie Gray just plucked one out of the sky, by the way. It was absolutely brilliant. Just laid it into Bogard. But you're right, they're starting to gain a little bit of confidence now. As good as Tell's been on that left-hand side, I'd quite like to see him and Son to switch for a little bit, because I think he would cause those 2 centre-halves a real big problem. He's sharp, he's quick, he's good on the ball. And let Son go out on the left-hand side for a little while.
Yeah, he's got a presence about him. He's clearly got plenty of skill. And he just looks a little bit out of it over on that far side at the moment. Here come Villa, looking to work the ball forward. This time Marlon was just on heels and Danso beats him to it. Gray goes back to Kinski, and he rolls it past the advancing Marlon, and Spurs will build again. But after a dominant, and they were dominant, opening 20 minutes, so chances are plenty, although Spurs almost gave the ball away again there. But it is Villa who lead by a goal to 0. But I think Unai Emery will be disappointed, might be the wrong word, but he will be frustrated they haven't got a second goal.
Yes, and also just kind of how they've allowed another team just back into the game. Look, Tottenham are a good side, they're going to have their moments, but they've been so dominant, Villa, that you just expect them to really kind of stay on top and go and get that second goal. It's a bit of a trend of late that he's, I'm sure, trying to get rid of.
Yeah, they have had plenty of chances. Kinski made a couple of saves. Denied Bailey, denied Ramsey. Tielemans shot wide. Marlon fired over. There have been opportunities, but they've not been taken thus far, barring the opener, when Jacob Ramsey scored inside 58 seconds. 1-0 here then on TalkSport. Nice crossfield switch. Can Spence get there before Garcia? He doesn't. And now Bailey's one-on-one with Gray. Covering defenders coming across as Bailey drives forward. Feeds it out here. Good touch there from Gray, but didn't clear it out initially. And eventually it will go out off the Villa defender. So Gray just about did his job there. But once again, Aston Villa part the Tottenham defence.
Yeah, well, it was Benton Kerr actually in the end that did the real good job, because Jed Spencer committed himself and he was never getting there. And I think it was Archie Gray found himself with a 2v1, but Benton Kerr dropped in, helped him out, just cleared the danger.
Ball played forward. Villa win the header. McGinn heads it forward, but won by Porro. Son gets the ball down looking for Kulusevski, but McGinn finds here Ramsey. Ramsey goes past Porro into the edge of the area, just overran it a fraction, and Kulusevski comes away with the ball, and Spurs have got 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half here, looking to launch an attack of their own as Kulusevski went to ground even before the challenge came in. Referees had none of it. He has tried to let play go where he can. Here now is Marlon towards the edge of the area. Goes past his man, but Porro, I think, was blocked by Ramsey. I'm not sure that was a design play. I think Ramsey just got in the way there, and Marlon is pulled back for an obstruction.
Still not sure that's a foul. You know, I mean, you've described it absolutely perfectly, and I just think that I don't feel like Jacob Ramsey did enough for that to qualify as an obstruction.
Yeah, he didn't seem to run out of his way to impede.
No, he didn't throw his arms out. He was just there. Yeah. It happens a lot.
Yeah, 2 to go to the break. Joining Gina Swithers, the former England international, the former Spurs and Villa player as well, albeit briefly here at Aston Villa. There's a ball played across field, and it's well dealt with at the back by Garcia, and he goes back to his goalkeeper. Unai Emery looks on. Ange Postecoglou will be a little bit happier than he was maybe 20 minutes into this one when his side were getting overrun. But they have responded well, and that big chance for Son, really their defining moment. They could have been level. There's a ball now with Dean, comes forward down the Villa left-hand side, looks for the return pass, got there before Danso, who did well, made himself big, and that's out for a throw-in. Porro again appealing for a free kick that's not going to come. And Villa with a throw-in midway inside the Spurs half. Kamara has it on halfway. Is there going to be a late chance at the end of this first 45 minutes on a dramatic day of cup action north and south of the border? Villa just happy to play the passes around here. McGinn turns just his side of the halfway line, looking for a ball out, finds Ramsey, who's got time, maybe too much time to bring it down there. He will feed it wide to Dean. He comes infield. Villa with Tielemans, and they're just passing around at the moment. Marlon waits centre of the field. He's the furthest Villa player forward at the moment. Ramsey joins him making a run. They try to get it to Ramsey, the ball just a bit too high, and Kinski will come out and collect it. And we wait to see how many 2 added on minutes we believe at the end of the first half. We did have that injury for Esri Konsa, who had to leave the field sadly. And the ball with Gray as Spurs look to launch one more attack, but they've given it away. Gray gives it straight to Bailey, feeds it to Marlon. Marlon fires side netting, and he had Tielemans unmarked in the box, but maybe the angle was against him. He looks up and sees Tielemans having a quiet word in his direction. Still 1-0.
Yeah, look, this is a common theme that Spurs fans have been watching, you know, week in, week out. Look, Archie Gray's been one of the better players tonight, and it was a mistake on his part, but it's more to do with the fact that it's the 45th minute. You're doing well to go in at 1-0 down, and you're still kind of persisting with this lack of game management. It's infuriating to watch. You know, everybody wants to see teams playing out from the back, but it just gets silly at times.
Yeah, Kinski this time drills the ball forward. Tell does well to win the header, and then wins the second ball. Oh, just overdid it with a turn, but he's still got possession, and now he's looking for runners. He'll see Kulusevski to his right-hand side. Still time here. Minute of the minimum 2 added on to be played as Moore has it, tried to feed it through, wins the ball back, gets it, it falls to Bentancur, he gets it away to Bergvall. Here now is a chance for Jed Spence, who's going to hit one, and it did, but it was straight at Martinez, who got everything behind it and clutches it gratefully.
Yeah, good feet though from Jed Spence. Ball finally found its way out to that left-hand side. He's on he's about 22 yards out on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box, and he had to use some really quick feet to try and get it back on his right and hit the shot, but yeah, not bad from him.
Well, it was worth the effort. Martinez has the ball on the edge of his penalty area, and he looks to knock it long and downfield, and it'll bounce once and go out. And just a few seconds left. What's been a really entertaining first 45 minutes. Villa certainly the more aggressive, and they've certainly had more of the chances, but crucially just the 1 goal so far. as the referee will blow the whistle to bring an end to proceedings, and the Villa fans are pretty happy here at Villa Park. Their side in front inside 58 seconds. Jacob Ramsey played in. His shot really went straight through Antonin Kinski, who should have done better to keep it out. They had further chances, plenty of them. Ramsey, Tillemans and Rodgers, all their efforts. Bailey had one saved as well. At the other end, one big opportunity on the counter-attack for Tottenham Hotspur, and that was for Heung-min Son, whose side-footed effort was in the end well saved by Martinez. So 1-0 at the break. The players trooping off down the sideline in front of us here at Villa Park. Join Genus, what have you made of that opening 45 minutes?
Well, Villa have been much the better team. There's no doubt about that. Much more organised, looking better in defence, looking better in attack. I thought Jacob Ramsey's been absolutely sensational. Morgan Rodgers has had his moments. Marlon up top has looked a real threat as well. Spurs hung on for large portions of that game and looked completely inadequate against a very, very well organised team. Yes, they had a couple of moments towards the end of the first half, and what it all comes down to, big moment in the game, Son's chance, 8 yards out, Martinez makes a sensational save, and you had Ramsey hitting a shot at Kingsley, 10 yards out, and it goes straight through him, and that's the difference of the game so far.
It is indeed. Let's take a look back then at the half-time highlights in partnership with Carling.
Emirates FA Cup half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carling. Brilliantly refreshing from the first sip to the last. 18 plus. Always drink responsibly.
He's driving forward now. He moves the ball up to this near side. Ramsey into the area. Left-footed shot. It's gone straight through Kinski. And Aston Villa get off to a dream start. A minute on the clock.
Well, it's absolutely brilliant. From Aston Villa's point of view, it's a shocker for Spurs and for Kinski.
And here come Villa again. Ball breaks here to Marlon, shot just over the top. Well, here's Kulusevski going the other way. He's got it to Mikey Moore. Moore into the area, crosses it, big chance on. Great save, Martinez. Yeah, that was a look at the first half highlights, all thanks to Carling. What a
Emirates FA Cup half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Yeah, big day of FA Cup action, and at half-time Aston Villa lead Tottenham Hotspur by 1-0. There were wins earlier on for Wolverhampton Wanderers, 2-0 up at Blackburn Rovers. But no doubt the big shot coming in the second of our 3 live commentaries this afternoon, as Plymouth, bottom of the Championship, dumped out Liverpool. We'll have all the reaction to come, including hearing from the Plymouth boss. That'll come up next here on TalkSport. But at half-time at Villa Park, it's Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
The Emirates FA Cup, live on TalkSport with Carling.
What a driver, what a goal! Oh, yes!
The official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Experience the intense atmosphere of live snooker with the 2025 BetVictor Welsh Open. Watch the finale of the Home Nation Series live in Llandudno at Venue Cymru, the 10th to 16th of February. Join the Pistol, Mark Allen, defending champion Gary Wilson, world champion Kyron Wilson, newly crowned Masters champion Sean Murphy, live. To book your place, go to wst.tv/tickets. That's wst.tv/tickets.
Emirates FA Cup, live on TalkSport with Carling.
What a driver, what a goal! Oh, yes!
The official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Yo, football fans, listen up. BetMGM brings Vegas entertainment to the biggest games and the biggest names. Because when it comes to betting on football, we're in a league of our own, baby. Offers? Oh, you know we got offers. Like bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
How are your New Year's resolutions going? Badly? But that doesn't mean this can't still be a great year, because the Volkswagen SUV sale is here.
Keep going.
Who's got time for the gym anyway? Diets are tedious. And learning a language is hard.
Repeat. Che cosa consiglieresti?
Get that new year, new you feeling with an extra £750 towards your finance deposit on top of existing offers, with 6.9% APR representative on Solutions PCP across our SUV range. Finally. A resolution you can keep. The Volkswagen SUV sale ends February 10th. Excludes ID4 and ID5 models. Tiguan all-space vehicles are stock only. Indemnities may be required. Volkswagen Finance.
Charlie had just hired Joe. He was great. Seemed like he knew his stuff. So Charlie left him alone for 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, Joe managed to burst the main pipe and flood the entire ground floor. Workmates, they're a bit like switching your bank account for your business. You don't want any surprises. That's why we guarantee there won't be any when you switch with the current account switch service. Maybe it's time to switch.
$1.29 at McDonald's gets you a mini Oreo McFlurry. $1.29 on a big night out gets you...
Sorry, no trainers.
McDonald's Saver Menu. Actually get your money's worth. From 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary. Price varies on delivery. Subject to availability.
Right now, B&Q Club and TradePoint members get 15% off when you spend £75 or more on everything in-store and thousands of products online. Not a member? Join today and save today. Sign up in-store or online. Hurry, ends Tuesday. You can do it when you B&Q it. For full terms and conditions, see DIY.com or tradepoint.co.uk.
Football is full of big moments.
Penalty!
The near misses.
Oh!
The last-minute winners.
It's an absolute
Put yourself at the heart of the action with Betfred. Check out our huge range of football markets, daily offers and price boosts in shops and online. Love football? Betfred. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Get an expert guide to all the latest speculations, signings and spending sprees with Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. From the latest deals worth knowing to where the big money transfers are going. Get the inside track in one all-covering football finance feature. Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. Join Tesco Mobile and get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. For applicable terms and verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Attention sports fans of the United Kingdom of England. Tonight, don't turn over your radio wide receiver. Get all the gridiron grinding, touchdown tackling action of Super Bowl 59. Live on Talk Sports.
middle of the end zone. Touchdown!
Bringing you all the backfield build-up and a full weenie roast from 10:30 p.m. Followed by live commentary of the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Live from New Orleans.
And that'll do it.
Super Bowl 59. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Tonight from 10:30 on Talk Sports.
FA Cup action continues here on TalkSport. The third of our live commentaries today sees Aston Villa leading Tottenham Hotspur at the break. Full second half commentary to come. Big shocks north and south of the border. Early on, Scottish Cup, Rangers were dumped out by Queen's Park by 1-0 at Ibrox. And we brought you the big shock here in England, live and exclusive commentary of Liverpool's defeat to bottom of the Championship Plymouth earlier on. Let's hear from the Argyle boss, Miron Muslic, who spoke to TalkSport's Declan McCarthy after that historic win.
Miron, a fantastic occasion for you, the players, the club, probably the biggest achievement for a lot of fans leaving the stadium today. Just how proud of you of the players?
Very proud. It's a big moment. You know, you're playing you play the biggest cup in the world, the most famous cup in the world. It's FA Cup, and you have Liverpool here at the home park. So it's big anyway. But to deliver then this kind of performance, to achieve this kind of result, it's big, it's massive. And we added just a new part of history and at Argyle, and nobody can take this away from us. So we are very proud.
Just take us back to the game when you saw the board at the end go up with 9 minutes. Just what were you thinking?
It's the FA Cup. It's Liverpool. They will come after us now, and I think that was the trickiest part of the game. The last 5-6 minutes. You know it's Liverpool. You know the history of them. You know how many games they turn it around, and they had a big moment also I think with Jota. But Connor was just there to have also defensively a big moment. It just felt perfectly to this game.
Amazing for him. We saw fans crying in the stands around us. They really played their part today.
This victory is for them. This is for the Green Army. They deserve this day. They deserve this feeling, and it's for them.
And it's another example of what the FA Cup is all about. And then for Ryan Hardy to step up with amazing guts to score the penalty. I mean, you must be so delighted with the contribution he played today.
Can I say guts on radio?
Yes.
Yeah, you said it, so I can say it. You need a lot of guts to take this penalty, and he was just very confident and ice cold. I like this.
And just a word on Arne Slot. You have him in such high regard. You spoke really well on him yesterday, but you have just knocked out the Liverpool manager of the FA Cup. So, did you speak to him after the game? Are you going to have a drink with him after? What's the plan?
I spoke with him after the game. He said, "Congratulations, well done, and you guys did it fantastic." That shows just the class of Arne Slot, and that's the reason why I admire him.
Yeah, Miron Muslic speaking after his side. Plymouth dumped Liverpool out of the FA Cup earlier on this afternoon. Well, Deck also spoke to the Liverpool boss Arne Slot after the game as he saw his side's hopes of a quadruple come to an end.
First of all, we have to give credit to Plymouth. I think they played a good game plan. Made it very, very difficult for us to create a chance. I think it took us maybe 85 minutes before we found a few openings. And they hardly created anything as well. And then a penalty moment, which was a deserved penalty because he had his hands above his head, was the right decision, let's put it that way. But that won the game for them.
10 changes going into the game and a lot of big names left at home. In hindsight, would you have done anything differently?
We will never know how the game would have been if we would have played with our starters over here. But what I do know is that we were also a bit unlucky that Joe Gomez, who is of course a good player for us, had to go out after 5 or 10 minutes, and then Curtis Jones, who I had on the bench, didn't feel comfortable to come in as well in the end, so we were not able to get him fit before this game. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you have to rely on a lot of youngsters, which are talented, but they saw today also what it means to play men's football.
Arne Slot there speaking to Deck McCarthy after Liverpool were dumped out of the FA Cup this afternoon. I'm sure many of you will have plenty to say about Liverpool's Cup exit and the rest of the weekend's action. That's exactly what you can do following our live commentary of Aston Villa against Tottenham here live on TalkSport. Majestic and the former Villa captain Gabby Agbonlahor will be taking your calls straight after us here on the final word. To get those calls in now, 03717 2233 4. Interesting there. I mean, obviously Miron Muslic, Jermaine Genius was absolutely delighted with his side, but Slot was very respectful. Look, he said, hindsight, you never know what would happen if he'd have picked a different team, but they have been dumped out and it's a big shock.
Yeah, and I think there'll be a lot of talk about the team, and we spoke about it before the game, and maybe he did underestimate them, maybe he didn't. I think that Liverpool have got a vast amount of matches to play, and the team that he put out there should be good enough to beat Plymouth. And I think when you get results like that and you're Plymouth Argyle, it's going to come down to the fact that you've worked a lot harder than the team that you're up against, and you wanted it a lot more. It's as simple as that. And I think that Arne Slot has shown a lot of class, a lot of quality in the way that he's handled it, and it's just a blip in their season. I mean, it's the FA Cup, so it's a big one, but we're talking about a team here that's striving for a Premier League and a Champions League, and I've had a fantastic start to not only the season, to his managerial career. So it is a blip, it's a disappointment, but Liverpool, in my eyes, are going to go on and have a fantastic season.
Yeah, Plymouth bottom, 4 points from safety. Millwall down at Home Park on Wednesday. That'll be a bit of a come down. Obviously, Millwall, I saw them at Leeds yesterday. 4 wins on the spin for Alex Neil's side. I mean, it is a tough... they've got to get their eyes back on the business, so they can't afford to get relegated, Plymouth, can they?
No, look, I think they're a nice distraction, these games, and they're a nice catalyst, to get things going. It gets a lot of confidence in your team when things are down. But like you said, they've got to get down back to business now. They've had a tough season so far, been battling it out down there, and probably a lot of people would have expected that at the start of the year. So it's not like they're not prepared for it, but they will hope now that this is a game that can be a springboard. It can be something that gets confidence in the players, maybe a way of playing, and something for the manager to look at them and say, that is the standard now.
Yeah, well, they have set the standard. They won this afternoon. I'm sure there's a party going on down at Home Park, and good luck to everyone involved in that. It is another huge week ahead of sport. We've had 3 FA Cup commentaries for you on the TalkSport network today. We've got more of them coming tomorrow night. We're live in South Yorkshire. Doncaster take on Crystal Palace in the FA Cup 4th round. Hugh Wozencroft presents with commentary from Nigel Adley and the former Liverpool women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. And we've got the final of the FA Cup fourth round ties on TalkSport 2 on Tuesday night. An 8 o'clock start down at St James's Park as Exeter take on high-flying Premier League side Nottingham Forest. Commentary from Ian Danta and the former Chelsea defender Scott Minto. Also on Tuesday, we're back in the Champions League. What a game as well to kick off the playoff round. Manchester City take on Real Madrid live from 8 o'clock. Adrian Durham will be there with Jim Proudfoot and the former Watford captain Troy Deeney. And on Wednesday, Premier League action, the final ever Merseyside Premier League derby from Goodison Park. Everton take on Liverpool. Only place you'll hear it live and exclusive on TalkSport with Adrian, Sam Matterface and the former England captain Stuart Pearson. We've got a big game on the Championship as well Wednesday night as Sheffield United take on Middlesbrough. That'll be live on TalkSport 2. Teams coming out here for the second half. It looks like Spurs are going to make some changes. We'll confirm those for you in a moment. I can see at least one player getting stripped off down below us and getting his playing shirt into the action. Jermaine Genius, former England international, with us this afternoon on TalkSport. Jermaine, what will Ange Postecoglou have said, do you think, at half-time?
Well, I think wake up for the start of this second half has got to be the big key message. Be ready for what's going to come at you, because they come flying out the blocks Villa. And Spurs were nowhere ready. Don't get me wrong, I think he'll also be probably saying, look, let's lean into a little bit of that confidence that we found at the end of the second half. And just raise the standards all round. You know, every single player, just raise your standards.
Well, there has been a change at half-time. Yves Bissouma is come on for Mikey Moore. So that'll be a slight change or a readjustment in formation. Now, producer Carl laughed at me earlier on when I actually gaffer taped my laptop onto the desk. Now, producer Carl's laptop has just blown off the desk, but thankfully he caught it.
My coffee went flying as well, and nearly onto someone's laptop. It cost me a few quid, that.
We are back underway here at Villa Park. Gust of wind caught everybody out there. We're back. We'll get you the teams in just a moment. As Spurs are on the attack, they're attacking from right to left as we look down. Villa attacking the whole end here at Villa Park as they like to do. Just shows how tough the conditions are, that gust of wind, although the ball given away. And here's Bailey going forward, gives it to Marlon, who has eased off it by Danso. That was a big challenge. Bailey's gone down clutching his shin here. I'm not sure what happened after the ball was played. Spurs are trying to break down their right, and the referee's going to bring it back. Bailey certainly felt he was caught there.
You know what, Danso's actually been all right, I think, for Spurs. I think, given it's his second game, he's definitely been one of the better performers today, given the amount of pressure that he's been under. Yeah, he just catches the top of Leon Bailey's foot. I think it was a fair challenge. He wins the ball, but in the follow-through, I think it's a studs right on the top of Bailey's foot, and they're really painful ones, they are. I mean, going back to kind of Spurs, I think the change they've made, I think, is a right one. I think Mikey Moore, as much of a young talent as he is, he was really struggling in that first half. Wasn't really keeping up with Luka Dean, wasn't doing much at the other end. I know he created that massive opportunity for Son, but other than that, he was really quiet.
He was indeed. I've just got a stoppage in play. Bailey is back up on his feet. Let's give you the teams then. Villa, Martinez in goal. Garcia, Bogard, who replaced Conser in the first half, lines up with Kamara and Dean in the back four. Tielemans and McGinn holding with Bailey, Rodgers and Ramsey behind Marlon. Here comes Spurs now. A chance for Tell. He just loses out, tries to win it back. And Villa now will look to play their way out of trouble. As that, surely now that has got to be a booking for Bergvall. That's about the 5th time now he's left the footing. Nothing really nasty about it, but more petulant now.
Well, Morgan Rodgers is absolutely fuming. So I think it just kind of lends itself to the consistency, the amount that he's actually doing it. There won't be loads in it, but it is late. Looks like he's going to get away with it again, though.
Yeah, I just don't think there's any need for that there from Bergvall. Let's give you the Spurs lineup then. They have Kinski in goal, Porro, Danso, Gray and Spence at the back, Kulusevski, Bentancur, Bissouma and Bergvall now across the middle. Son and Tell in the advanced positions after Moore made way at halfway. 1-0, Aston Villa lead, looking to make it through to the 5th round. You'll hear the draw tomorrow on TalkSport tomorrow evening just after 7 o'clock. But who will be in it? Can Villa put the game to bed, or will Spurs find a way back into it? Spurs have it on halfway. There's a bit of a pull on the back of the shirt there. Referee says go on, because Spurs come away with the ball with Kulusevski.
Who's back out on his now favoured right-hand side. He's had some really good games in midfield this year for Tottenham, but definitely offers more of a threat when he's on that right-hand side. Bissouma's coming to the midfield with Bergvall and Bentancur, which should give them a little bit more power in there, a little bit more kind of impetus in terms of getting on the ball, as well as an extra body with a midfielder that thinks like a centre midfielder.
I mentioned it earlier on, 3 of the Premier League's top 4 are out of the FA Cup now, so the draw will open up. Still some big names left in it. There's a ball on the edge of the Tottenham Hotspur penalty area with Bissouma. Gets it away to Bergvall. Here's Bissouma again. Rodgers just waits in front of him. Bentancur shows short for the ball. Archie Gray has it now. Spurs just looking to enjoy a bit of possession, a bit of territory early on here, just to try and work their way back into it. They did show signs end of that first half. They had that great chance for Son, who maybe should have done better. Here now,
he's got to play it.
Here's Tell, and he cuts in field. I think a few times we've seen him do that, where you maybe either want him to play it down the line or actually have a run down the line.
I just think that Villa plays such a high line, even when there's good controlled possession for the opposition. Villa are more than happy to play right on the halfway line, and I just think it's screaming out for, a deep lying midfielder just to have a run. Here we go.
Nice ball in, finds Son, edge of the area, good first touch, fires, great block, really good block there from Lamar Bogard, prevents Son, denied for the second time, lovely pass, but Son denied by Bogard.
That's what I mean by that high line, it's just one ball and you're in behind if you just time your run to perfection, but really good from Bogard. He had to react, he was getting after Son, he slides in, he gets a solid foot to it to get it out for a corner.
Yeah. Chanso for Spurs, going to whip this one in near post. Oh, it's headed away by Dean. It's not gone out of the edge of the area yet. It'll fall to Jed Spence, 35 out. He'll look to work it down the near side. Tell has it, he'll cut in. He's going to have a float across in. It's a good ball to the far post, and it's headed behind by Luca Dean. And Spurs probably enjoying their best spell of the match so far.
Yeah, much better from Spurs' point of view. That was beautiful from Tell as well. Nice bit of composure, cuts in on his right foot. Just floated one, didn't he, towards that back post. It was dying for someone to attack it, but you can hear these Spurs fans now much happy with this performance.
Yeah, there's plenty of them here as the corner floats in again. Again, it's headed away, not quite the height on it, and now there could be a break. Well, Marlon just showed too much of that to Porro. Ball into the box as a Villa player down. Martinez will come and collect it, and the referee will stop play here. I think it's Luca Dean who's got a bang on the head here.
No, the ball hit him in the face. It was a clearance. I think it was Tielemans it comes into. He heads it and it hits Luca Dean in the face. Pretty sure there was no clash of heads involved.
Okay, well, the referee has stopped play. Martinez did, in fairness, gather the ball. 6 gone second half here. Still Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0, but Heung-min Song's had 2 really good chances now and he's been denied twice, but just proof that Spurs are growing into this game.
Yeah, but I think that's the case from, when Villa can't put the game to bed or get themselves that second goal, it always lends itself to the opposition to just gain a little bit more confidence, gain a little bit more belief, realise that they're only 1 goal out of being right back in this tie.
We've seen a Villa substitute swarming up down here in front of us at this end of the ground. Marcus Rashford standing by potentially for his Aston Villa debut. He's going through his warm-up routine, believed to have trained really well according to Unai Emery, but Jermaine, as you'll know, it's okay training, but he's not played now for well over 6 weeks or so.
No, but look, sharpness isn't Marcus's issue. He's got plenty of sharpness and speed that can cause problems. I think by all accounts it sounds like from a mentality point of view, from getting himself in a really focused place at Manchester United, is where he's just been struggling to kind of get himself going or get that real belief in himself to get out there and play. But this poses a brand new challenge. A manager with new ideas, they're playing in the Champions League, they've got themselves a real group of players, a core group of players, and a way of playing that it feels easier to slot into. I think at Manchester United, Marcus is expected to carry, and I don't think mentally he's quite there yet, whereas here he'll still be guided, he'll still be helped. It'll just be kind of being a part of a really good organised team. I think he's going to enjoy this 4-month period here.
He must have looked at that first 20 minutes or so and wished he was on the field, because the amount of chances that Villa were creating, he's going to get opportunities here, you feel.
And as a player, you look from the outside and he's probably, look, let's have it right, Manchester United have been all over the place for months now. And every time he's probably watched it, he's probably like, I'd love to help, but this is just a mess. Whereas here, he can see structure. He can probably imagine where he's going to go onto that pitch and have a massive impact.
Yeah, Luca Dean is back up on his feet. He's over on the halfway line, far side of the ground, not yet come back on. 8 gone on the clock, still 1-0, Villa lead. That goal inside 58 seconds for Jacob Ramsey, but are Villa going to be made to pay for not adding a second?
He's got to start playing that ball forward, Bergwijn. The amount of times he gets his head up and Tell's making a run, sometimes even if you don't quite make it, it just makes the centre half and the wide fullbacks just drop deeper and deeper and deeper.
Tell is on this far side. They're down the right though here. Chance to put the cross in. It's driven. It'll fall to Son. 12 yards out. Lays the ball off. Shot deflected and behind. Why did Son not have the shot there? He laid it off. And the effort from Bissouma deflected wide.
I mean, we just don't know whether is it the 2 chances that he's missed that are in his head here from Son. Lovely play from Pedro Porro. I thought he took 1 touch too many, but I mean, the Son I know there, he's chopping onto his left foot, he's hitting a shot, he's put the ball in, he's leveled the penalty spot. He's just got to swivel and hit it. It's almost like he just kind of passed the responsibility on.
Yeah, he could have hit it, could have taken a deflection, anything could have happened there.
Bissouma was in a worse place as well. It was just like, come on.
Well, it's another corner for Spurs, and we're down this end of the ground, and certainly the Spurs players have spent more time down this end. Ball whipped in, not cleared, it'll fall to Danso. He hooks it back in, not cleared. Bergwijn on the byline, pulls it back into the 6-yard box, and there's just a sea of claret and blue, and it's cleared away by Kamara.
He's got to smash that at the keeper. I don't think there was anybody there to really pick out.
That's what we've seen from the visitors here, but Danso's touch, and he's lost out now. McGinn's away. He's got Bailey peeling off to the right. Bailey now towards the edge of the area. Spence tracks back. Great one-on-one tackle. And now Spence goes herring down the other way. And he has it. He's got Son with him. He just overran it. He was looking, I think, who to pass it to Tell or Son. He lost control and he gets upended.
It was great defending from him initially, wasn't it? He's so quick. Doesn't if he's hurt himself there. He's trundling back into position. He needs to get in sharp.
Yeah, he did have a bit of a thumping fall. He's got work to do here as Bailey now sets off against him again. Lays it out to Garcia. Garcia whips in across towards the centre of goal, and it's cleared away by Spurs. But this is a proper FA Cup tie now. Yeah. It's opening up live on TalkSport, and here goes Bissouma for Spurs. Son in front of him. Kulusevski to the right. Feeds it to Kulusevski. There's only Son and Bissouma. Kulusevski with a shot, and Martinez down low to his right gathers it in. Still 1-0.
So much better though from Tottenham's point of view. Whatever Ange Postecoglou has said at half-time, I do believe it's the change. I think Bissouma coming into that midfield has just given them that extra body, a little bit more assurance in there, and allowed Kulusevski to do what he does best up top. But they're looking much more like a side in this second half, Tottenham.
They are. But now they've given away a free kick. Bentancur is deemed to have just clattered into the back of the Villa player, and it will be a free kick. Tillemans only too happy to go. He did get the ball, Bentancur, but the referee deemed he got a little bit of piece of the Villa player as well.
I think he's forgot his cards in the dressing room, Anthony Taylor. Convinced. I like it. I'm all for it. Let the tackles fly in, and I think that's what's helped open this game up and make it more exciting. But there's a few that are definitely lucky out there.
Martinez has it. He'll get it away to Bogard, who was a first half substitute. Finds the ball given away here down the near side. Tell tried to take it on, and McGinn has it edge of his area. He tried to play it across goal. It was intercepted by Kulusevski, but he couldn't find Son, and Kamara just lamps the ball long downfield. And Spurs having a really good spell here. 12 gone second half, but they trail 1-0.
Well, all of a sudden Aston Villa look a little bit lost now. Spurs have gained control of the ball in that midfield, and Villa just looking a little bit lost. They look dangerous on the counter-attack, but they've got a lot of concerns to deal with here.
They have indeed. That is Tell has it on the near side, but Bailey deals with him, takes the ball away from him. McGinn turns into trouble, but then turns out of it beautifully away from Bergwijn, and he's driving forward now, and he slides the ball through. It'll fall here for Ramsey. Great save, and the ball behind it's come for a goal kick. He said it came back off Ramsey, who thought he was in for the second. This time Antonin Kinski keeps him out.
For as much as we've criticised Kinski for the big mistake in the first half. He's made some decent ones, and this is another good one here. Almost an identical position to the goal that Jacob Ramsey scored. The ball's kind of like bouncing around a bit, but he does make himself big and hits his arm and keeps his side in the game.
Ball given away by Villa. Much to the angst of the big crowd here. There are not many empty seats here at Villa Park, where it's Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. But who will be in the draw? Remember, extra time and penalties if needed. Spurs needed extra time in round 3, didn't they, to get past Tamworth? Well, Villa left it late to beat West Ham. 1-0 here, but Spurs certainly improved second half. Bergvall under pressure as well, gets it away to Danso, moves it wide to Porro. Son makes a run across the top, they're trying to find him. Kamara gets across, didn't get the ball though. Son's got there, now he needs a bit of support and earns a throw-in down by the corner flag.
Yeah, great ball from Pedro Porro. That's the ball I'm talking about, in terms of just every now and again just knock it in behind them, because they're not that quick, Kamara and Bergvall, so they're going to drop.
An hour gone nearly here. Still 1-0 Aston Villa lead. But Spurs enjoying the better of it second half. As the ball played forward though, he's intercepted by Villa. And they'll now get it away. Here now goes Rodgers. Rodgers skips forward. He's in a wrestling match. Well, that's got to be a yellow card. Bentancur there. He's trying to swap shirts with Rodgers, and finally, he hasn't forgotten the yellow cards, Jermaine. He pulls one out for Bentancur.
Yeah, Bentancur has got himself completely on the wrong side of Morgan Rodgers. I mean, it's funny that one, because the ref can't see that Morgan Rodgers got an absolute handful of Bentancur's shirt from the front, but he was just really smart with it. It was a clear foul from Bentancur. Actually a decent one in the end, to be honest with you.
Yeah, ball back to Martinez. Jeff Selling returns tomorrow 6 a.m. on TalkSport Breakfast. Jeff will be alongside the Villa legend Gabiag Bonlahor. They'll be joined by the Leyton Orient manager Richie Wellens tomorrow. Wasn't quite to be, was it, for Leyton Orient? But they gave Man City a run, didn't they?
Gave them a nice scare, didn't they?
They did.
Do you have to say Aston Villa legend when you say Gabby's name?
Yeah, contractually
is it like part of the deal? Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
I'm just figuring all this stuff out. I just keep hearing it. I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, welcome to commercial radio. Ball is with Aston Villa inside their own half. Across to the near side they come. Here is the first half substitute Bogard, who gives it to Martinez, who decides to play it forward. Unai Emery's touch is a good one, and he lays it down here for Archie Gray, and Spurs have got a throw in. I certainly think Ange Postecoglou would be much happier with what's going on second half.
Definitely. Just give a big round of applause to Son for pressing the goalkeeper. They're on the right side of it now. They've got control in the game, chances are coming. It's just whether they can stick that next one away.
Tell made a great run over the top. He's made a few runs. They're not quite looking up for him at the moment. I think he went offside, so it will be a free kick. But he is an outlet. He's a willing runner. He's always prepared to go in behind.
He is. I really like what I'm seeing from him so far. I think, like what you mentioned in the first half, though, they've just got to keep giving him the ball.
Well, the trouble is now it's going the other way with Villa, and that could be another yellow card here. And it is
Bergvall.
Bergvall that goes into the book. Well, I don't think on the totted up process he's got much complaint, but
he's got his hands all over his head, like how? Just runs into the back of Jacob Ramsey. So yeah, it's a clear foul and a definite yellow card.
Yeah, it was. The wind whistles round the press box again. Plenty of my colleagues look nervously down at their laptops. 1-0 Aston Villa lead here in front of the Holt end. They're about 35 yards out. Tielemans. Here we go. I think Marcus Rashford has just been given the call. He's taking off his training vest. He's about to get ready to make his Aston Villa bow here at Villa Park.
I think it's a double. I think Asensio's coming on as well.
Yeah, here is Tielemans, drills it out to the right. They're going to whip the cross in. It's a deep one. It could be too deep. Kinski will collect it, and he quickly looks to try and get play out, but he will bowl it out eventually on that far side. But maybe the moment had gone there. Tielemans wins the tackle.
Well, he's got to get it out to him quicker if he's going to do it.
So Rashford and Asensio summoned to the Villa bench as Unai Emery decides that his side maybe just need to change things up here. I also think he'd be looking on the break. They're starting to get a couple of chances now, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, and also it could just be the style of play that they might revert to. They might not press as high up the pitch anymore, whether the energy levels have just been a little bit less in this second half. And as you say, from a counter-attacking point of view, you can get Rashford on the pitch and Asensio, and whether it'll be Marlon or Rodgers or Ramsey that comes off, but either way, there's plenty of pace that is going to be up top for Tottenham to worry about.
Yeah, well, they did business in the window, Aston Villa, and we're going to see a couple of those players that came in coming on. Marcus Rashford, I'm sure there'll be Manchester United fans listening at home wondering how he's going to get on. It was a bit of a acrimonious departure in the end, as here goes Marlon driving forward for Villa into the edge of the box, lays it to Ramsey onto his left foot, back onto his right, lays it to Marlon, shot comes in, cleared off the line and fired in. Morgan Rodgers turns it in, and Aston Villa have got their second goal. Villa Park explodes. Villa 2, Tottenham 0.
Well, again, it's all about that driving, running power that Aston Villa have in midfield. We've had 3 separate occasions at the start of this second half where the midfield of Aston Villa have got the other side of Tottenham. It's cost them 2 yellow cards, Tottenham, chasing them down, and on this occasion it's cost them because the foul wasn't made. Basuma did put his arm out. I think it was Tielemans that was breaking through. He was thinking about bringing him down, and he didn't do it. He breaks through, and it eventually works his way out to the box. I think Danso, he's the one that is throwing his body at it, trying to stop it not going into the 6-yard box, going into the goal. As we see here, Marlon, yeah, it's Danso trying to stop it on the line, but Morgan Rodgers there, ready for a tap-in, smashes it into the roof of the net.
Well, it will be Leon Bailey and Daniel Marlon's last act, because they're getting substituted here, and we see Marcus Rashford about to come onto the field for the first time as an Aston Villa player. What impact can he have here for the Claret and Blue? Villa leading by 2. Listen to that roar here. A new beginning for Marcus Rashford and for Marco Asensio as well. Villa might just have a couple of new heroes onto the field here. What a time to bring them on. They lead by 2-0.
I'll tell you what, I mean, that lit me up hearing that big cheer for Marcus Rashford. I can only imagine how that must have felt for him. Really do believe it must have been a big moment. He's had, he's been through a lot, publicly over the last couple of months, a lot of scrutiny about him. I have no doubt he's going to be able to a point to prove. And these Villa fans, once they get behind him in the way that I know they will, I know he'll light it up for them, definitely.
I mentioned it in the first half. He's coming into a team that play a lot 100%. Of attacking football.
And just the structure of it. It's like, Marcus, you go out on that left-hand side. When we've got the ball, you do this, and when we haven't, you do that. When you've watched United over the last God knows how many years, you still don't know what they're doing. I know Amarim's working on it, but...
Well, he wins his first header and he finds his new teammate Asensio and a bit of skill. And Villa, the fans are lapping it up. They lead by 2-0. There's a stopping player. I think Danso has got a head knot and he's gone down. He's making out there might be a little bit of blood there. I'm not sure what's happened here. The physios are coming running on, and we've got a stoppage in play.
It was that challenge with Marcus Rashford, and there is blood.
There is.
He's took a knock there, so it's the right decision from the referee to stop the game.
Yeah, you are listening to Aston Villa against Tottenham in the FA Cup Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Stoppage in play here. Don't forget, following us here on TalkSport, Majestic and the former Villa captain Gabriel Bonlahor. They're on the final word. Your chance to have your say on all the weekend's action. Get your calls in. 03717223344, and later on tonight as well, the Super Bowl is live on TalkSport 11:30. Will Gavin and the team over in New Orleans for the Kansas City Chiefs against the Philadelphia Eagles. That should be an absolute cracker, and you'll hear it live on TalkSport tonight. Ange Postecoglou looks on. Quarter of the game left. He's about to make a change. I think there is a player stripped and ready to go. I think it's Pape Sarr who's about to come on.
I can tell you one thing, it's not Rashford and Asensio. He's having He had a look behind him a minute ago. I saw his face and he was like, yeah, don't think I can quite have the same impact from what I'm bringing onto the pitch, but this is just the hand he's been dealt currently.
Yeah,
I mean, the goal was quite a bit. It was against the run of play, really, wasn't it? The goal from his point of view, it was a bit of a sucker punch, but they've got to get themselves back up and go again.
Yeah, they do. That Rodgers goal really has swung it Villa's way now. They lead by 2-0. What a day of FA Cup action it's been. Wolves winners at Blackburn earlier on. Plymouth beating Liverpool by 1-0. And up in Scotland in the Scottish Cup, Rangers 0, Queen's Park 1. First time in the Scottish Cup ever that Rangers have lost to a team from the lower league. That is an incredible stat. Villa have it back then. Now the Tottenham get themselves back into this one. Well, here now is Rodgers, who's popped up on the right. He's got Garcia outside him. He cuts back in, looks to lay it back. Rodgers pokes the ball into the penalty area. Here comes a cross. Rashford waits in the middle. Ball flicked on. It'll fall edge of the area for Tielemans, whose shot was blocked. He rather politely inquired about a penalty. The ball will go behind for a corner kick. So Villa back on the attack.
I mean, they've got some players now, Villa. I have to say, Asensio coming onto the pitch, just wanting the ball every 2 minutes, linking up with Morgan Rodgers already. It's looking good for them.
It is. Here's Luca Dean on the left. Lays it out on that far side. Rashford just pokes the ball. They're in here. Big chance. Cross comes in. And it's put behind. Unai Emery just went crackers on the dugout. He's not happy that wasn't another goal. I think the ball's deemed to have gone out. It's out for another corner to Aston Villa.
Well, it was a big chance. And they worked it really well down that left-hand side between Luca Dean and Marcus Rashford. And I think anytime you hit that first man, it's infuriating for everybody. Because you're better off having a shot and it just kind of getting parried out to somebody.
Here Villa have it again. Here is McGinn, 30 yards out, gets the ball out wide. Here now is Rashford. Rashford, little drop of the shoulder, goes past one, goes to the byline, tries to drive it in, crosses blocked at source. Picked up though by Villa. Now they'll stand it up to the far post. Tielemans went for the volley, had a swing and a miss. And now Spurs will look to break with Tell, but there's no out ball for him. He's got to stop and take stock. And we'll just get the ball back. He'll have to go back inside his own area for Gray, and Gray gets it away to Danso, who's been patched up and repaired, and he will bring it forward. Villa 2, Spurs 0. 20 minutes plus added on time remaining here, and Villa looking for a third goal to really put this game away. Here's Rashford, just lays the ball off wide on the left hand side. McGinn just takes a moment. He's been outstanding today, McGinn.
I feel like the change is really good from Unai Emery. I mean, it's an easy enough decision when you've got those two on the bench, don't get me wrong, but the flow of the game was definitely going much more towards Spurs at that particular time, and you know, Villa have got a grip on this game again now.
They have. Ball over the top. They're onside here. There's Asensio got in behind. Oh, beautiful back heel. Here's Rodgers now. Gives it back to Asensio. Rashford went in the middle. Falls to Rodgers, who slams his shot just wide. That would have been a magical goal. Asensio heavily involved, but Rodgers couldn't hit the target.
Wow. Just wow. That was an absolute pleasure to watch. I mean, the link-up play between these two since they come onto the pitch is a joke. I mean, Asensio's plucked one out of the air, back-heeled it into Morgan Rodgers into midfield. He's giving it him back, goes back to Morgan Rodgers. He's on the near post. He's just tried to smash it into the roof of the net, but just single-handedly between the two of them, just picking Spurs apart at will.
Pape Sarr comes on for Bentancur. Probably hasn't had the impact he would have liked. Ball over the top for Spurs. Was looking for Tell, who's moved more central now. Ball headed away from him. Rodgers gets it back and gives it back to Garcia. Here now is Rodgers again. Looks up. Rashford in front of him. He's got Garcia to his right. And it's all Aston Villa. That second goal really has turned this tie on its head, just like Spurs were looking to get back in. Here's Garcia now, just dwelt on the cross a fraction too long. Rodgers is with him. He'll square it to the edge of the box to Tielemans. Tielemans moves it across here to Dean. Dean just overran the pass back to him. They'll start again here with Tielemans, back to Rashford. Looks like at the moment Villa have brought their own ball. They're not letting Spurs have a kick of it right now.
Yeah, they're just creating overloads everywhere. Asensio's got into that Morgan Rogers role. Rogers has gone onto the right-hand side. You know, Ramsey's still on the pitch. It is a team full of ball players now.
It is.
Even Kamara, the centre half. So to get the ball off them, difficult. They're all comfortable on the ball. They're all good knocking it around, and 2-0 up, full of confidence. They're in a great spot.
They are, and they are around about 17 minutes away from a place in the 5th round. Here's Rashford down the left again. Cuts it into the area. Did he get fouled into the area? Referee said no. It looked like he did there. And the referee, I think, well, he's stopped playing now. I'm not entirely sure why. Rashford and Porro are having a right old set to there verbally.
It looked like there was some contact. I mean, Rashford's adamant. He drives in. I mean, he puts it through Porro's legs, so Porro's already angry. I'll tell you that. And once he's had a kick out. His arms come out. I'm trying to really see how much contact there was, but I'm telling you, that was it was reckless. I think it was outside the box,
yeah,
but it was reckless.
Yeah, it was outside the box, but not given. And here comes Spurs forward again. They are getting tight on time. 16 remaining. As Dean is adjudged to a foul. Well, as Postecoglou said, he always wins something in his second season, but as it stands, it's going to be all eggs in the Europa League basket for Spurs.
Yeah, that is exactly what he's steering in the face, but you know, he did make those statements when he did have less than 11 players injured, I would say. I think we're very quick to, you know, just stick to every single word that, you know, a manager says, and it was a bold statement, it was a brave statement at the time, but I suppose, you know, it's what he wants. It's how he sees the football club in terms of where he wants it to be, and he's got to start, you know, speaking that stuff into existence. So I don't blame him for saying that at all. It's been a very unfortunate year.
Yeah, it has, and you know, I know injuries can be used as an excuse, but it's the sheer scale of them.
Yeah.
We looked earlier, probably 10 of those out injured would be probably starting today.
Correct.
There's a ball with Villa. They're risking here inside their own penalty area. Martinez, though, is cool under pressure. Finds Kamara, finds Tielemans, who lays it to Rashford. Beautiful touch to Rodgers. Rodgers plays it through. Villa are in here to wrap it up. Ramsey denied again by Kinski. Well, he made an absolute howler for the first goal, Kinski, and after that he's come up with a couple of beauties to deny Ramsey.
He really has. I mean, Villa have almost had 2 opportunities to score goal of the season. Some great play through the lines in midfield. Tielemans starting it from the edge of his own 18-yard box. Lovely ball into Rashford. It was nicked round the corner, won it to Morgan Rogers, and then they're in on goal. As you said, Kinski just made some big saves, to be fair to him. For the rest of this game, he's really shown up.
Yeah,
could have had a hat-trick, Jacob Ramsey, tonight.
2 genuine one-on-one opportunities, maybe hit it straight at the keeper. Again, Unai Emery was living every kick there. 2-0, he won't be content yet. It's Spurs, who, I think that initial second goal just knocked the stuffing out of them. It did change the game on its head.
It did, yeah. And we've got the atmosphere here is incredible, isn't it? I mean, the fans, they know they're watching, you know, a really special moment in time, I believe, in this Villa side. The players that they have, the manager they have, the possibilities that are there.
Here's Tell going the other way, though. Spurs, if they get one back, are not done. Kulusevski keeps it in, tries to pull it back. I thought Son was a little bit slow to react there. In the end, Kulusevski does well to earn a corner. And just one attack there, one ball forward, and Spurs could have been right back in it.
Yeah, they could have. Good play from Kulusevski. I think, as you say, Son was on his heels a little bit. If that ball gets cut back and makes it through, I'm not sure he would have made it. Good defending from Luka Dean.
All going to be swung in. Is the late drama at Villa Park. Ball cleared to the edge of the area. Basuma, can he keep it alive? Finds Tell, gets it out of his feet. Thought about the shot, lays it back here. Basuma's shot is blocked, loops up. Dini doesn't clean it, and they're in here. Chance put across goal, and Danso's missed from 4 yards out. He's put it wide. A gilt-edged Tottenham Hotspur chance, and Danso misses the target.
Well, it's the second big chance they've had in this game. I think it bounces just in front of him if I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but Basuma has a shot, it deflects out to the right hand side, and Pedro Porro just smashes it across goal, but he's 4 yards out. Yes, it bounces in front of him, but he's got to just get that ball heading towards target. Let's have a look. I mean, who is it who's just in front of him? Garcia's just in front of him and possibly just put him off, but couldn't quite get the contact he needed.
I think if he'd have missed it, that it'd have gone in.
I know, that's why you're better off just almost just throwing your body at it and just getting as much contact as you can on the ball.
12 to go, live on TalkSport. More changes coming here for Aston Villa. Ian Maatson getting ready down below us. And the ball now working its way forward here with Villa. They lead by 2-0. Jacob Ramsey inside a minute. Morgan Rogers firing in 64 minutes after a clearance off the line fell invitingly to him. Spurs have had chances of their own, but they haven't taken them. Son has had 2 efforts denied, and then that Danso chance as McGinn again finds the right pass and sets Luca Dean forward. Rashford makes a run forward, but the ball wasn't to him. It was straight down the middle, and Kinski will come out and collect it.
See, I think these are really important moments now for Tottenham, because I think they've been accused a lot over the last couple of weeks of just going under too quick. As soon as they have a little bit of adversity, they don't show up, they don't, suppose, show that pride that the fans expect them to be showing. So 2-0 down with 15 probably minutes of time added on. A real opportunity to kind of put those types of conversations to bed, really.
And had they scored that goal, and who knows what might happen. It still may happen, but Villa have nicked the ball with Ramsey. Finds Rashford, who gets it away. Ramsey had made a good run down the left, and he's found now over on that far side. Rashford and Rodgers go forward. There's another poor challenge, and the referee is going to produce another card here, and Pedro Porro, I think, will be on the receiving end of it.
I think he's had enough, Pedro Porro. Down that right hand side, they're all popping up over there. He's lost his head a little bit here, I think.
Here is the change. Luca Dean makes way. Ian Maatson comes on for Aston Villa. And a big ovation from all here, as a few of the Spurs fans are just starting to dribble away over on the far side of the field. 2-0 Villa lead with 10 to go here. It's not too long ago Aston Villa were in the Championship, Jermaine, and you look at them now, European football, dominating in Europe so far, going okay in the league, going very well in the Champions League.
Good ownership, good management, good organisation, good recruitment, and ambition. That's their big thing.
Yeah, it is. Here now is the cross. Asensio whips the ball in. Porro clears it away. And Spurs they had the chance to try and go forward. They opt to go backwards. Can they create one more big opportunity? They're playing here. Look at the work from Rashford. Closing down with Rodgers. Loose pass into the area, and Danso says, let's get rid of this. Ball forward. Here's Rodgers again. Rodgers turns it round the corner, finds Rashford. Rashford wide on the right now, drives the cross. Come Tottenham down the near side, looking to work their way out of their own penalty area. A nice run there from Jed Spence. We've not seen a lot of him trying to get forward. He's been pushed back quite a lot today, but McGinn wins another big tackle.
Yeah, he did well on that occasion, Jed Spence, though, just to get out of that tight spot.
You're listening live on TalkSport. Ball over the top, looking for Tell. He's going to get there first, but he's got no support with him at the moment. He gets the ball to the byline, but he's overrun it, and it goes out. Again, look, we've not seen the best of him, but I think what you have seen of him, you think, when we get some ammunition around him, he's going to be a player
he hasn't given up, which I quite like about him. We just had a picture of Daniel Levy pop up on our screens here, and a lot of those Spurs fans I know are not happy with him or the way that the club's been ran currently at the minute. They expect a lot more ambition, a lot more, I suppose, of a competitive nature to their league performance and trophies that they're trying to achieve. And this is a bit of a rude awakening, I think, for them to have a look at Aston Villa and see what they've managed to achieve in such a short space of time.
Yeah, ball over the top, looking for Son. There's Garcia again. Looks to hit it long and downfield. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Doncaster Crystal Palace FA Cup 4th round, live on TalkSport 2. Ewers and Croft is with Nigel Adley and the former Liverpool striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. And we round off the 4th round of the FA Cup on Tuesday. We're live at St James's Park. Exeter against Nottingham Forest FA Cup 4th round, live on TalkSport 2 with Ian Danta and the Chelsea defender Scott Minto. And as it stands, Forest are the highest ranked team left in it.
Yeah, the Mighty Reds, absolutely flying they are.
Another team that are just showing that you can build, you can grow. You don't have to be one of the elite teams in order to get success.
And good recruitment again. Bit of time for the manager just to kind of bed himself in a style of play.
Good header again, Rashford. He sets Asensio off. Asensio's driving forward. Spence backs off. Here's Rodgers now. Rodgers crossed too deep. Rashford was waiting in the middle, as was Maatsen, but they can't keep it in, and it's out over on the far side. They're certainly upsetting the status quo, aren't they, Nottingham Forest at the moment?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to see. I think the stability in their game, especially at home, has just been brilliant, and everyone keeps expecting Chris Wood to stop scoring, but he won't. He keeps sticking him in the back of the net, and that's obviously going a long way to the fantastic season they're having.
Yeah, I think that adds to the frustration of Spurs fans, doesn't it, that they're seeing teams like Villa and Nottingham Forest, who are in the Championship up until recently, they're going on and succeeding. Ball here now with Son. Overruns it and goes out. He missed that big chance first half when Martinez saved from him, and then had another one in the second half that he didn't put away. It was blocked by Bogard. It was an outstanding piece of defending. We saw Danso side foot the ball wide inside the 6-yard box. They have had chances.
One thing I will say is that it's been quite sad to see, I think, some of Sonny's performances lately. He just doesn't seem quite as invested, in my opinion, or whether he's carrying an injury maybe.
The ball here with Tell. Tell wins the free kick, and it is going to be a free kick right on the left edge of the box. I think I was listening to Simon Jordan, and I think he's good friends with Daniel Levy, and I think he said in passing that I think Son had some surgery or something in the summer, and it's taken him longer than they thought to get maybe back up to full speed.
I mean, and in particular when you're having surgery and you've crossed that 30 mark, things don't quite spring back as quick, and on top of that he's working within a framework of players that are probably not the level that he's been playing with. There's a lot of factors in there, but I still think he could just offer a tiny bit more at times.
Well, he's got a chance. He's 15 yards out. He's about 2 yards to the left of the penalty area. There's a two-man wall in front of him. It's one of those where he could just drive it towards the far post, hope someone gets a touch on it. This could be Spurs' way back in. 4.5 left, 2-0 down. Son puffs out his cheeks. Is he going to shoot? No, he's going to square it to the edge of the box. Oh, Spurs getting each other's way. Shot comes in. Porro's effort wasn't strong enough. Martinez with a save for the cameras. Well, it was a set piece that almost went wrong and then almost produced a goal.
It was actually well worked. He's fired it across the box. I think it was Asensio that got out to it. He read the situation, so Kulusevski couldn't quite hit it first time. And Pedro Porro ended up toe poking it towards the keeper with no power whatsoever.
Needed a little bit more juice on it than that. 4 remaining here. Villa are nearly there. They've not been into the 5th round of the Cup for a number of years, so it's a welcome return for them. As Pape Sarr strongly goes into the challenge and comes up with the ball. That's a nice ball as well to Kulusevski. 3-way in the middle. They dived in on Kulusevski, but he comes away with the ball. He pulls it back to Bergvall. Bergvall, can he get the ball out of his feet? No. Tillemans put him off, and Kamara comes away with it. And Villa now might attack here from deep inside their own half. They tried to play Rashford in, but the last man was Archie Gray, who intercepted the pass, and now forward comes Spurs, running out of time. It's a late hope for them in the FA Cup. Kulusevski lays it back, edge of the box. Here's a chance. Porro onto his right foot, goes back out wide. There are only 2 waiting in the middle, and the short pass for Porro's overhit, and it goes behind, and that will see a few more Spurs fans leave their seats here at Villa Park.
Yeah, it felt like a big moment where they needed to create something there to create a chance, and it was a poorly executed overhit pass from Pape Sarr.
TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow with Jeff and Gabby from 6 a.m. going through all the big talking points. No VAR in the FA Cup. Has it been a good week for VAR or not? Because there's been a couple of big decisions, hasn't there?
Yeah, there has. It is a weird one, isn't it? When it's not there and they happen, you kind of miss it. But I've quite enjoyed today's game, where, you know, I think Anthony Taylor's allowed the game to flow. It's not been getting stopped every 2 minutes, so I'm still kind of not really for it on my side.
Yeah. So he gets to cover a lot of the Championship, and it's great when a goal goes in. If there's no flag or no whistle, it's a goal and you can get on with it. But the referee's done okay today. He was lenient early on, but tried to let the game flow. Here now is Son. Spurs trying to end with a bit of a flurry. Can they put a goal on? Son with a shot. McGinn blocks it. McGinn's been everywhere for Villa today.
He has been really good. I think the whole midfield of Villa has just been, you know, the way it operates will be tough to play against that team.
Strong challenge goes in there from Asensio, and Rashford's racing away. Archie Gray's on his own. Marcus Rashford on his Villa debut just took it too far. Gray nicks his pocket and stops the on-loan star having a strike. They've come together there. That might be a painful one because Rashford rather caught Gray.
Yeah, I think as he goes to shoot, Archie Gray just gets there first, and oof. I mean, his foot's planted. That could be really. It could have been really nasty.
Well, he's got up, Archie Gray. You have a look at that, and it's not nice, is it?
It's because his foot's planted in the ground, and I think where Rashford goes to shoot, he hits him middle of the shin. Looks like he rolls his ankle a little bit, but
well, he's trying to run it off, but he's just passed the ball there, and he almost grimaced, didn't he?
Yeah.
Archie Gray. They don't want to lose another one. It was an accidental clash. We've got to say that Gray nicked the ball away. Yeah,
it's brilliant defending. He read exactly what Marcus Rashford wanted to do, and I think that's. You know, when we spoke earlier about Marcus Rashford and kind of where he's at in terms of his sharpness and his game management, I think it's those moments there where he's not quite at the level yet. But you can see he's going to slot into this team, you know, beautifully.
Yeah, he certainly can. Villa, Ipswich, well, this is the first of 4 at home for them. They've got Ipswich, Liverpool and Chelsea all to come here over the next couple of weeks. So, Villa Park, not lost here since October. So they'll be welcoming some of the teams at the top end of the table here and hoping to close the gap on those European places. Right, 5 minutes added on. It's now an ever for Spurs. They trail 2-0. Ramsey and Rodgers with the goals. Gray gets it to Bergvall. He gets it away out on the far right. Porro. Ball floated in. Here's a chance for Tell, gets it, and it's in! Lifeline for Tottenham Hotspur! And it's Matthias Tell who reaches out a long leg and diverts it past Martinez. And with 4.5 minutes of added on time remaining, Ange Postecoglou's side have got a lifeline. It's Villa 2, Tottenham 1.
Well, he's definitely the one player all day that's never quite given up. He's never shown any signs of an attitude of a player that's going to be giving up either. It's a lovely bit of play from Kulusevski on the right hand side. He just flights the ball in, just floats it towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Tell makes a run outside of the boot, knocks it into the far corner. Game on.
Nice finish. Now what can Spurs do as the ball is sliced up into the air here? Kulusevski's going to get on the end of this, and he finds a pass. Here comes Spurs looking for an equaliser. Crosses blocked. Sarr couldn't quite get the ball into the penalty area, but all of a sudden it's a nervy Villa Park, and all those Spurs fans who've gone home now, well, they're listening on the radio, wishing they might have stayed. Come on you Spurs rings around Villa Park now. 2-1, late drama here. Live on TalkSport. Extra time could be a possibility if Spurs can find a leveller. Ball breaks here, Basuma does well. Can't find a pass though. Rashford gives it back, and they're all just rather passing the buck, Villa there. They just needed to get rid of it. They haven't got rid of it. Bergvall picks it up. Here's Pedro Porro. Porro's I thought he was going to stand up the cross. They need someone to put it in. They do put it in. It's too deep. Martinez gratefully.
I think he should have put it in, Pedro Porro. I don't know what he's thinking when he's out there on that right hand side. He gives it to Kulusevski. Yes, he just put one in a minute ago from that angle, but if you had the chance, put that ball in the box.
What a difference in atmosphere now. All of a sudden those in claret and blue are looking at watches. It'll tell them there's still 3 minimum added on minutes to be played. Ange Postecoglou will be wondering, can his side dig themselves out of an almighty hole here? Spence advances down the left. He's going to try and earn, so he's fouled. That's a free kick. Rodgers has upended him. Set piece for Spurs, 10 yards away from the corner flag. Left-hand touchline as they attack away to our left.
It was silly for Morgan Rodgers. You could see exactly what Jed Spence wanted. He was running himself into a corner. He was just waiting for some contact, and he bit Morgan Rogers, and now they've got a great opportunity to whip another ball into this box. Last few minutes.
Son with a free kick. Everybody back for Villa. Ball whipped in again. It's too deep. It's straight to Martinez, and the pressure valve is released. That was a poor delivery.
Poor delivery. I mean, it's such a presence, Martinez. You've got to keep the ball away from him, or at least, you know, get some bodies around him to pin him in so he can't come out and just catch a ball like that.
That was akin to catching practice before the match. 2-1 Villa lead, a game that for large parts they dominated.
Oh no, they've dominated the game. They deserve to win the game. I think obviously that goal at the end has just given Spurs a lifeline.
It has. Is there a late twist? Ramsey goes away the other way. Can Villa put the game to bed? We're inside the final 90 seconds of the minimum 5 added on, and now it's Villa who've got a free kick. There'll be no rush whatsoever to take it. Pape Sarr upends Tielemans, and Villa will wind as much time off the clock as they can. TalkSport brings you the biggest show on earth this evening. We'll be bringing you Super Bowl 59 live from New Orleans as the Philadelphia Eagles take on the Kansas City Chiefs. We're live from 10:30, all the action underway. 11:30, Will Gavin and the team will take you through the Super Bowl. Can the Chiefs make it 3 on the spin? Be the first time ever to do it in the Super Bowl era. Here Villa are just running the clock down now. No ambition, no need to go for a third goal. Although they've gone back to Kamara, who was under a little bit of pressure there. Matthias Tell chased him down. His first goal in a Spurs shirt. Might be a few more to come as well before the end of the season. Here now is Asensio. Didn't opt to put the cross in, just lays it to Rashford, edge of the area. Rashford back to Asensio, walking towards goal. Oh, they missed an open goal. Didn't turn it in. Tielemans pulls it back, and Spurs living on the edge of their nerves, clearing away, but that's it. The referee blows the whistle. Unai Emery punches the air in delight. Aston Villa are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Misery for Ange Postecoglou, dumped out of the Carabao Cup in midweek. Now they are out of the FA Cup as well. Jacob Ramsey's goal in the very first minute gave Villa the lead after Kinski made a horrendous error. He did make several other saves though that kept the scoreline down. Spurs had 2 great chances in either half. Son missing on both occasions. Rodgers then bundled in from close range to wrap up what looked like a straightforward Aston Villa win. But Matthias Tell, late in the piece, pokes past the keeper Martinez. It gave Spurs the faintest of hope, but it's Aston Villa who prevail through to the 5th round. Very good performance in parts, Jermaine, for Aston Villa.
Look, I thought Villa dominated the game. I think definitely in the second half that, you know, Spurs came out a much better outlook, much better organised. The change in midfield of Basuma did help, but there's no doubt that I think, you know, Villa have kind of 2 ways of playing. They can get in your face and they can also drop off, and when they drop off and catch you on that counter-attack, it was just wave after wave of attack. And I was just watching Unai Emery just walk down the touchline, giving everyone a big round of applause. He's seen some stuff tonight from some of his players and his new players that he's integrating